You know, I'm kinda glad that Spo0ksi's video turned out well. I feel like both of us pretty much learned from it. I will admit I was a bit harsh, but I got through to her with little to no trouble. Hell, I was able to get a little bit of criticism too. Considering how well it went, there's no way she'd be a repeat offender.
You know the rules, and so do I. Say goodbye.
Oh, right, she's a ghost. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old woman? I mean, she can't be that young considering she's a ghost. If she really is that young, then in that case, oh no. Unless these are one of those 1,000-year-old young-looking girls the Fate series told me about. I should probably get started. I'm not even monetized, so I have no reason to be stalling. So in my first video on Spo0ksi's, I was a bit harsh for her, but that's only because I didn't anticipate that she'd see the video considering I only have 44 subs, and she has 25k. Now, she's no PewDiePie, but she is significantly popular compared to me. So I didn't anticipate that she'd even watch the video, let alone leave a comment. Now, don't get me wrong, I stand by what I say, but at the same time, I still feel like I was a bit harsh. And yes, I know I'm late to this topic, but hey, me being late means I'm one step closer to being just like my commentary idol, just a robot. But in all seriousness, it was because I spent way too much time on that Am I the Asshole video. Hell, as I'm writing the script, I have a whole movie planned. Yes, you guys are getting another movie. I'll drop the trailer sometime eventually. Anyways, let's get into it.
Hey guys, it's Spo0ksi's back at it again with more drama from Twitter. Yes, you heard that right. A game, Animal Crossing, that blew up in March while we were all getting quarantined. And for those of you who don't know what that game is,
if you don't know what Animal Crossing is at this point, you're the biggest normal fag ever.
It's a cute game where you create like islands, you move people in and out, you go fishing too. I never played it, but overall, it's a pretty G-rated, E for everyone kind of game. Only in the grand age of 2020 will drama arise from people who design houses and sell acorns or something, I don't know. This isn't the first semi-big drama that has occurred with the game. I actually remember at one point everyone was obsessed with that one cat for no reason at all and tried to gatekeep this in-game character because it was their comfort character or something. But no, it's something like that in terms of gatekeeping. But you know, I'm just gonna go out and say it. Animal Crossing has added more black hairstyles and skin tones to their roster, and really cool stuff. Most of the credit goes to Tanisha Brackenhux, who's been petitioning for months, so give this queen a round of applause.
Black gamers exist? What kind of non-issue is that? Ugh, this is giving me flashbacks of back in the day when every attention whore on YouTube was saying shit like, gamer girls exist? When in reality, no one was saying they don't. I mean, plenty of black people play video games, and no one is making the assumption that they don't. If this is really how the video is starting, then I guess I'm losing hope quickly here.
However, it is illegal on Twitter to simply be happy.
I didn't need to play Animal Crossing to figure that out.
Complaining is a necessity. So immediately, we got people gatekeeping these clusters of pixels formulated in Maya. Now, do I think hairstyles are important? Yeah, of course, absolutely. A lot of black people are gonna have a blast with these. It's very validating to see yourself in media, especially in media that you enjoy. So I'm not knocking that. I'm knocking the people who care about protecting these hairstyles from like non-black people or white, okay? Like, it's a cluster of pixels at the end of the day. In a video game full of furries, who cares if Jane down the street gives her character an afro? Like, I don't know why it matters. Honestly, it was always weird to me how some people don't make their avatars look like them.
Alright, fine. I can abide to that. Now can you see why we don't make our characters look like ourselves IRL?
Obviously, I don't look like a space blob. But I mean in a playable game. Like, I downloaded the Pocket Camp Crossing game, and I tried to make the character look like me to the best of my ability. I always want my avatars to look like me, and I get bummed when I don't have the option to. So like, I was thinking maybe non-black people, specifically white people, use these options because they want to switch it up. I mean, they have been accurately making an avatar that looked somewhat like them their whole lives. So maybe they want an afro on their character, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's harmless, that's my thing. You can't even use the cultural appropriation argument because it takes place on a fictional island.
Well, that and cultural appropriation doesn't exist. Also, anyone notice how people only call it cultural appropriation when a white person does it? But when a non-white does it, it's just sharing culture. I explained this more in the video I did on Nani.
On someone's personal switch. It doesn't really have enough impact to matter. And as long as someone isn't using the black hairstyles in a mocking way, like, making their character have racist undertones, it really seems like a non-issue. Anyway, I want to talk about a specific case that's been blowing up all over Twitter recently that involves this topic. Stardew Leaf, an Animal Crossing player, made a tweet with her character with the caption, "Cute space buns." Now, before I get into the ins and outs, let me be clear when I say this. What Star was doing is obvious bait.
How is it obvious bait? Doesn't seem too obvious to me. Also, most people who say, "It was bait, you fell for it," are usually just pulling a Schrodinger's douchebag. I'm not saying that's what Stardew was doing, as she never went back on it like most douchebags do. But 90% of the time somebody calls their post bait or pulling a Schrodinger's douchebag. It's the Twitter equivalent to, "It's just a prank, bro."
There's no reason to caption it space buns. This was done to incite a reaction, and it definitely got a reaction.
So are you gonna prove why you think it's bait? No? Okay.
Her following count went from 150 to over 10k, so attention acquired.
So now you're calling her an attention seeker. That's a dick move.
Now here's my issue with this whole thing. I don't care that people want to use the hairstyles. You can literally use whatever hairstyle you think is the prettiest or suits your character, that's fine. My problem is the argument that these weren't actually meant to be black hairstyles in the first place, that this hairstyle where you can clearly see the texture is meant to emulate a 4C hair texture.
The fact that people are trying to super analyze textures in a video game as to prove whether or not it belongs to black people or not, in order to prove some Twitter rando wrong, fucking astounds me.
Does anyone want to get into a fight?
It's actually space buns. Like, that's just being obnoxious. I don't care if you put the hairstyle on your character, make it Bob Ross, but don't turn around and say that it's actually not a black hairstyle in the first place. So that's where I'm at with it. Because when you do that, you're kind of discrediting the work that this woman put in to petition for more hairstyles. So now we...
Oh, you mean the non-issue? Pretty sure Nintendo didn't put that hair in solely because one woman made up a non-issue. They're not stupid. Also, what hard work? You typed out a petition. Oh yeah, so hard.
Got them. You're like, no, well, she actually didn't work hard. Like, that's annoying. Anyway, let me continue with Stardew Leaf, because, child, it gets messy. I've read around that Star is anywhere between 29 and 31, which is well into adulthood. And I say that to highlight they are old enough to comprehend everything that I'm saying.
I mean, judging by what Twitter taught us, the idea of maturity is dead.
Anyway, we got people saying, "I stand with FIFA," and making fan art like this. Is this really something to take a stand for? A 30-year-old woman posting her persona with a caption that says space buns. Like, I know quarantine is taking a number on us, but this is too far for...
What? I thought you wanted representation, right? But in all seriousness, people are just trying to make a girl who was falsely harassed and falsely marked as a racist feel better.
Some of you gotta go outside, I'm just saying.
I would, but I live with someone who's immunocompromised.
Okay, this is Spo0ksi's coming to you live from the shuttle. I just want to add the fact that it seems like most people aren't upset by the fact that non-black people are using black hairstyles. People are annoyed by the idea and the outright refusal to refer to any of these ethnic hairstyles as Afro puffs or black. We have to say space buns. We have to say some other term. And that kind of reminds me of the cultural appropriation argument, where it's like, we don't care if you take part in our culture, but we don't want you to take it away.
Well, that's an even shittier argument, because now people are getting offended by what we call it. It doesn't matter what people call it, it's just hair nonetheless. Aren't there, like, actual issues in the world to focus on? I'll call a hairstyle whatever the hell I want. See this? This is my hairstyle. I'd call it a hair swoop. But you all know what's actually called an emo mop. But wait! Emo mops are usually reserved for white people. And I'm Hispanic. Which means... oh no! Oh, woe is me! I'm appropriating culture! See how you sound?
And at the end of the day, to me, they look like cornrows that go into Afro puffs. That's what they look like to me. But if someone else truly believes they look like space buns, Despite there already being a space bun hairstyle, I don't really see enough reason to care. I'm going to think they're objectively wrong and vice versa. So there's really no point in arguing at the end of the day. It's hard to even say where this drama ends. It keeps getting dragged on because Stardew keeps posting new pictures with their characters and puffs and calling them space buns. This is my only pet peeve. The fact that a real black woman petitioned for more ethnic hairstyles, and once they are here, a lot of people are dismissing them by calling them space buns.
Again, non-issue.
When from my perspective, that's clearly not the intent. So be careful of that, you all. And that's my biggest issue with this, because I don't really think most people care. At the end of the day, even then, I don't care. It's who a Stardew Leaf is some random anonymous 30-year-old woman who likes to play Animal Crossing. No shade, no shade.
No shade, she says after calling her a baiting attention seeker.
You can do whatever you want, but I'm not going to get angry over something like that.
Then why make this video?
Like, it's just not in the cards for me, okay? I do want to be quick with the Stardew Leaf thing, though, and also say this, that evidently they've been into bigger dramas than just the, not corners, the puffs. Evidently, they have been saying the N-word repeatedly, saying the N-word is not racist. Let me just come out and say saying the N-word in any context is racist, because you know you shouldn't say it. Like, just don't say it. No one should really say it, but especially if you're not really black, because it's a derogatory term for black people. I don't understand people who fight for the right to say the N-word. Like,
No one is fighting for the right to say it. People are fighting for the right to have people not overreact to it. It's not the word, it's the intent. If someone just says the N-word out of nowhere, then no one should care. But if someone says something actually racist, like that one thing Keemstar said at one time, then that would be bad. Also, according to the tweets you showed, that's clearly what she was trying to say. And there's the fact that people dug this up. The fact that Twitter saw that they were losing the space bun argument and thought, "Oh no, I'm losing the argument on the internet. I better dig up a reason to frame her as a racist, or else I'll lose sympathy points to influence people to my political side." Plus, this tweet was from March. You're pulling a James Gunn on her.
Like, why do you want to say it so bad? Like, okay. Anyway, that's why I can't really defend this person, because that makes me sad. That's how I know for sure that this whole space buns thing was just entirely bait.
So these 3 tweets suddenly just means that you're gonna dismiss her as a whole. Because clearly a tweet from March completely influences a tweet nowadays.
Like I said, use whatever hairstyle you want to. I do not care. But like, I don't think people should be standing behind this Stardew Leaf person. If this post is real, if it's not real, I'll see. But I haven't really seen any evidence that tells me that this is not a real post that they made. So that's all I can say on that. Anyway, you guys let me know your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and agree, disagree, don't care, let me know. Period. Wait, what should I say? Spooksy signing out. Get that space cadet theme. Yeah.
Well, that's all for today. If you want more from me, you can follow my Twitter, watch my DeviantArt. If you want to talk to me directly, you can join my Discord server. If you want to support the channel, you can join my Patreon. And until next time, goodbye.
So am I. So am I. So am I.